right, let's see if this is working here. Hey, what's up, cryptos? Yeah, all right, my first ever video blog. I need to define something at the start of this video so that you understand what I'm talking about. So in this video, I'm gonna refer extensively to the topic of airdrops. And what is an airdrop? An airdrop is simply receiving free tokens by the mere fact of owning tokens in a particular network, such as EOS. So let's say you own 1,000 EOS tokens. Because you own 1,000 EOS tokens, if a company decides to do an airdrop, meaning giving you free tokens, you will get, for example, 1,000 free McDonald's tokens or 1,000 free decentralized Uber tokens, whatever the application is. You may be wondering, how do you just get free tokens? Well, the way it works when they do an airdrop is the company themselves keeps a percentage of the tokens. For example, 20%, 10%, 30%, something like that. So when they airdrop all the tokens to all the users like you and I, they keep a percentage as well. And that's how they fund themselves, because they put those tokens on the market and there's a valuation and they have incentive to increase the value of that airdrop. And we also have an incentive as holders of those free tokens that suddenly have value to improve the service as well for everyone. And we have incentive to get other users involved in the space. And it's this feedback loop that I'm going to refer to later. So that's what an airdrop is. It's revolutionary, it's new, and that's what EOS brings to the table. It's actually the next iteration of what was formerly known as an ICO. Well, now there's an airdrop. Free tokens for the fact of owning existing tokens on a network, such as EOS. All right. So on the subject of EOS, I just had this realization recently of how big this is going to be. So we have this new blockchain, and I've been talking about it for a while now, and since about August 2017. So we're gonna have a new type of business. There's gonna be a new business model that's going to exist that's never existed before. Never mind the fact that we're doing money that's never been done before, the internet of money, a brand new start for people to control their own wealth. But there's a new thing creeping in here in 2018, which is a brand new type of business model. For example, I was listening to a podcast by Mike Novogratz last night, and he was talking about, you have Uber, and you could have, he called it Duber, a decentralized Uber, wherein people are using an Uber-like service on the blockchain. So it's not centralized anymore. No government can shut it down, etc. It's like taking Uber to the next level. Uber was already taking taxis to the next level, and then you have a decentralized Uber and it takes that to the next level. But the way the business changes in this is because you can issue a token, and not only do the riders get a token, but the drivers get a token, and it marries them together to both care about the network, to both want to get people involved because it raises the value of that token which they both carry. Previously, in a regular business type model that exists today, from everywhere from McDonald's to Starbucks to you name it, to Uber, the business relationship really is very separate. The interests are not aligned. You have the drivers and you have the riders, and the only point where they actually meet in the middle is where they exchange money. The rider gives the money to the driver receives that money. That is the one point where they actually meet in the middle. And aside from that, they could give less of a crap about each other. You have the driver, he's like, give me my money, I'll get you where you gotta go, I'll never see you again. I'll fix my car up with the money, I'll pay my bills. That's the relationship. It's really not a relationship, except for the drive itself. And for the customer, he's like, hey, get me from point A to point B, here's my money, that's all I want, that's all I need. And after that, sayonara, that's the end of that relationship. So that's the old business model. That's the same everywhere, from Starbucks, like I said, to Uber. You go to Starbucks, you give them cash, you get your coffee, and the deal's done. And the barista makes your coffee, and the deal's done. They got the cash, it's over. Starbucks doesn't really have a further relationship with you at that point. So the new business model that I'm seeing here is incredible. This is huge for so many reasons, but imagine this, where to use the Uber service or to buy a coffee at Starbucks, you have some tokens that you bought maybe right at that moment or beforehand, whatever you wanted to do, for the cost of that coffee. Same cost and everything, but there's a token there. And basically the token then becomes a valuation in the company itself. So if Starbucks or Uber does well, your token value goes up. And therefore you care about the value of the company, how well it's doing. You actually have a further interest in it at that point. You want to get other people in. Maybe you want to fix the service so it's better. Maybe you want to, program some code to make their website operate better, whatever it may be. And and the token is something that you own and the company owns, because in this new ICO model where they distribute coins to users for services, they own a percentage of the coins too as the company. So there's a further link than just that initial product or service that lasts beyond the interaction. And so then you have a vested interest in the well-being of that company. And that's just mind-blowing on the ramifications of this. Take, for example, Gmail, a service that most of us use, Hotmail, Gmail, things like that. And imagine if everyone had tokens on this platform, almost like a share of stock in a way. How many users are using Gmail, or how many users go to Starbucks? It could be millions and millions. I don't know if it's a billion. It's somewhere in that range. Of that many people, if they all had tokens and a vested interest in the well-being of that platform, there's going to be a percentage that are actually going to do something to improve it. Maybe it's a guy from Sudan who doesn't make much money. He's like, hey, but I can program. I'll improve the Starbucks website to make it perform better, or I'll add a new feature to Gmail so that it works better, or it does something it didn't do before. And then instantly it increased the value for everyone on the network. And by increasing the value for everyone on the network, he also increased his own token value. And it's a feedback loop where everyone benefits from the input and the contributions of anyone participating. And so, again, it's like having this share of stock in the company. So the company benefits, but so do you, and so does everyone else. And so then everyone wants to get everyone else in. It's pretty mind-blowing to me. I think that this is going to be a increasingly common type of business in the years to come. We're so at the forefront right now that I can't say that it's going to be mainstream tomorrow, but I think we're going to start seeing the first iterations of this in 2018. And we already have some, like Everipedia dropping on EOS. That's going to be one of the first ones. And there's a couple like this. So just keep your eyes peeled. The internet of money, Bitcoin and Ethereum and EOS, is not just the internet of money. It is going to redesign the entire landscape of both economics and business. It's so huge. And I said this last year in another video I made, and I'm saying it again. Cryptocurrency and tokens and digital currency is going to transform the landscape in such a humongous way that we are still at the beginning of it, because it's such a huge transformation of society. This is the biggest thing I've seen since the invention of the internet itself. I personally believe this is one of the greats, up there with the invention of fire, the invention of the wheel, the invention of the internet, blockchain. That is the next step. And again, I'm telling people, get on the bandwagon. If you didn't last year when I told you to, which you would have made fucking phenomenal gains, it's still not too late. Get in. Okay guys, that's everything. I hope you're having a great day. I hope this was informative to you. Please bear with me. This was my very first video blog done in a car, and I'm thinking about starting a YouTube channel and keeping these coming. As you can probably tell, I'm very passionate about the crypto space and cryptocurrencies and tokens, and I want to make this a regular thing. So stay tuned.